Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today to share with you this layout that I created that was in the fall issue of Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine in the Inspiration Gallery. I created this leaf. It's a digital cut file. I actually did not create the digital cut file. I used a digital cut file, and then I created the backing for this cut file using washi. So you can see the many rolls of washi that I have on my desk, and I basically just laid down strips of washi of different widths and hues of orange and yellow and sort of an orangey red, and laid them down as you can see here. And I tried to, while I was using the washi, just work on two different sets of leaf innards, and you'll see what I do with those in a bit. So I laid down long strips about what would be the length of each of those veins of leaves there, and then I will use the leaf to trace the half side, and you'll see what I mean by that. So I'm just doing that left half of the leaf there, and I'm going to trace the outside of that leaf and then the inside of the vein there, and then I'm going to cut that out so that you can see how that is going to then fill the left-hand side of that bottom leaf, which is the same thing as I did for that top leaf there. So you can see how that then gives color, and it allows the veins of the leaf to be filled with some fun color, but it also leaves a little bit of white, sort of for that contrast that comes with fall leaves. So I just used my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive and glued that down, trimmed what I didn't cut out too well, and then I need to fill the other half of that leaf. So I wanted the ripped edges to be on the inside intentionally, and that just allowed me a fun way of using washi to fill a large digital cut file. Now, I used a fall leaf, but you could absolutely do this with any shape. You could do it for Christmas and make a tree, would be really cool, or a package at Christmas time. So there's just various different ways of using the same sort of washi technique to fill in a pattern. I just used a piece of scrap paper there because the glue had poked out from the outside of the back of that cardstock there. So a simple and effective way of using washi here, just to sort of open up another technique for you. So you can see how where I put that washi and the shape of the leaf, it came down a little too far. So I just traced the outline and just took my washi and put a little bit more in. I had originally thought that I would pull a washi from the top and put that down the bottom, but let's get real. I've got plenty of washi, you can see there, and so it was easier to just not mess with it curling or not sticking properly, and just lay a little bit of extra washi down. So that is the right hand side of that vein there. And I might be using the wrong biology technical term there for what that is. I think the veins are the part that are actually cut out, and that would be the body of the leaf, perhaps. I don't know. So I'll just go ahead and fill in that last one, and then you will see how I put the rest of the layout together. The layout is a picture of my daughter apple picking last year. When I submitted this layout for publication, it was far from fall. In fact, I think we were in the throes of summer when I was working on that. Sorry about my head there. So that's the last one that we're going to cut out there. The washis are a mix of washis. I honestly, I can't remember. Most of them, I believe, come from Freckled Fawn. There's some that's AC, but I think that's where most of those washi tapes are from, between American Crafts and Freckled Fawn there. So finish that leaf off, and then I have pulled some papers and some embellishments from Simple Stories, Cartabella, and a couple of other places. So I'm going to clean off my desk and then work on putting that on a layout there. So these are the two pictures. One is a close-up of Mia in the tree, and the other is just a picture of her standing, walking down one of the aisles between the trees. And I like the way that I've arranged these pictures because you've got that heaviness of the close-up of her in the center of the layout, and then you can see how in the picture it was sort of whited out in order to get the color of her, and so that white sort of fades off and gives you a sort of a softer movement of your eye over to the outside edge of the page. So I have decided to put that leaf pattern paper from Simple Stories onto that blue pattern paper, which is also from Simple Stories, but I didn't want it to be square or on a right angle, so I just sort of tilted a little bit, which adds to that sort of falling leaf feel of fall when one does go apple picking. So I just in order to not waste paper, I trimmed off the blue there and then just sort of found a pleasing angle and then trimmed off the rest to make it 12 by 12. So I'll just line up on the 12 spot, zip that through, line the other side up on the 12 spot and zip that through. So therefore making myself a 12 by 12 square out of those two pieces of paper. And it looks much better when I actually put that outside picture that I haven't adhered down yet on the back behind the one in the front in order to distribute the weight of those pictures. And it does look better down as well so that I'm not covering up as much of the detail work that I've done in that washi leaf there. So I've got the bulk of the layout. Now it's just time to embellish it. I don't want too much embellishment because I really want that washi to speak for itself. So this is the ephemera pack from Cartabella, and a lot of these are phrases. I got distracted by that leaf, and so I used some burnt orange twine from the twinery and just tied a bow around that and let that hang there. And again, just for a little bit of a fun effect. And Lord only knows I've got enough washi to last me a lifetime. The twinery, when they told us when we were on their design team that it was a lifetime supply of twine, we're not kidding. So I liked that autumn, and I ended up incorporating that into the title of the layout. And the color worked well with the fall colors that I have established here on the layout. It's actually kind of heavy, so I like the weight above that lighter picture of my daughter, the more, I'm going to say picturesque picture, not that she's not picturesque in the close-up, but the one that includes more scenery. And then these are stickers from Simple Stories, and I just created a cluster down on the right-hand side where I knew I was going to put some journaling strips, and that cluster of embellishments just sort of tied everything in together there. Because I knew I wanted to put the title where it was, I wanted to pop that up a little bit so that I could kind of nestle part of moments underneath of it. And I have these arrows from Pretty Little Studio from Ashley, and the colors matched perfectly with the Simple Stories collection, so I put those in, and they came with a Cocoa Daisy kit that I had. I destashed all of my Daisy kits from the past 3 years and just put things together, so embellishments went with embellishments, and I do try and save my seasonal embellishments together. These also came in a Cocoa Daisy kit. These are little words from the Now No More Imagineath. Or no, I lied. Those are actually the Pebbles ones. So those are from the Pebbles collection. And these also were Cocoa Daisy. And these are just little enamel leaves from Doodlebug. So just some fun little fall embellishments to decorate the page. And what you don't see me do that I did go in and do after the fact is I took some sequins from Spiegelbaum scraps, as well as some Heidi Shops line, and I splattered the mist as well as put some sequins in, again, just to add a little bit more of an organic feel, because fall to me is a very organic sort of month, with pumpkins and their mud and muddy pumpkin fields and apple picking, which is always muddy for us when we go. Fun but muddy. There's a little apple from the Pebbles collection that I wanted to incorporate because we were apple picking, and it was just a little sort of nugget of the actual moment. So that is the layout I created. You can find that on page 69 in the fall magazine if you're interested in seeing it in print. Thanks for stopping in today. Enjoy the close-ups. Take care.